Oh, man, it's a pleasure to be back here at the desert. And I'm a happy man tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I just hit the dollar slot machine. And as soon as my hand heals up, I'll hit it again. And I love the weather here. It's so healthy. Last year, a friend of mine, 80 years old, married a girl 19, had a baby. Went to the doctor. He said, "Doc, you think I can do it again?" Doc said, "Why? You think you did it before?" And I was supposed to have been a doctor, but I couldn't write badly enough. You ever try to read one of those prescriptions they give us? I got one last week. I went to 3 picture shows on it. You go see a doctor nowadays, first thing he says, "What's wrong with you?" Don't tell them, let them guess. Because all they know is bend over. Wonder what these doctors used before penicillin. Caskets. And they tell you some silly things to do. Last week I had a terrible cold. The doctor says, "Go home, drink a big dose of castor oil, and stay in bed." You can't do it. And I was in Texas last week. You ever been to Texas? I went out hunting. I had an old Indian guide. He was a half-breed. He could only breathe out of one half of his nose. And this old Indian was an Aztec. He wasn't a full Aztec, sort of a... Then I met a pretty little Indian maiden. I walked up. I says, "How?" She said, "Oh, same old way." Then we went down to Sandy Flush, Mexico. That was a county seat at the time. Then we went over to Tijuana. Tijuana, that's where you drink tea. You don't know yet whether you wanna. And I was in Miami Beach last week. I was at the Fontainebleau Hotel. And I won't say that place is expensive, but the guy in the men's room sells annuities. But I like Florida. That's my home. In fact, a friend of mine left tonight, taking his girl down to Florida to get a little sun. I said, "You taking your girl to Florida?" He said, "Yep." I said, "You going to Tampa with her?" He said, "Miami." I said, "If you do, I'll Tallahassee." He said, "If I don't, Jacksonville." And I went out to the Hialeah racetrack. I got insulted out there. I went up to the mutual window. I said, $2 on horse number 6. He says, "To win?" I said, "Can I play the horse to lose?" He said, "You want to put the $2 on the horse that knows?" I said, "Put a little all over the horse." How'd I know how he's coming in? And I had a great horse. What good odds he left. Left 10-1. Came in around 3:30. Well, that damn horse so far back they had to photograph the track to find out where he was. I don't know yet whether he was last in a second or first in a third. And that horse has run last so much, I don't think he'd recognize another horse face to face. The little guy came up to me, he said, "Next race, horse number 3. I says, "He got a chance?" He said, "Has he got a chance? We've had him doped up for 3 days. We stuck him with the needle twice. He's got Benzedrine up his nose." I said, "You think he'll win?" He said, "He may not win, but he'll be the happiest horse in that race." Did you ever see a horse start from a kneeling position? That horse didn't run, he took off. So I waited till the last race. One but 6 horses in the whole race. I said, $1,000 on horse number 6 to win. I'm sitting up in the stand. The guy back of me said, "Who'd you bet on?" I said, "Horse number 6. He says, "He ain't gonna win." I said, "How you know the horse ain't gonna win?" He says, "I own that horse. He ain't gonna try to win." I said, "It's gonna be a hell of a slow race. My brother owns the other 5. Don't laugh. That race ain't over yet. And I want to tell you the worst joke you'll ever hear in your life. An Italian fella came over here, nice guy, went in a bank around noon. Everybody's out to lunch. He said, "I want to make arrangement for a loan." They said, "The loan arranger's out." He said, "If the loan arranger's out, let me talk to Tonto." And we were talking today, the band and I, about different classes of people. We were talking about an atheist. And you know what an atheist is? That's a guy that don't give a damn what happened during a Notre Dame Southern Methodist football game. And then we talking about these bebop musicians. Now, there's a bunch for you. 2 of them in the Okefenokee swamps in Georgia fishing. One bebopper looked at the other. He said, "You know one of these alligators just bit my leg off?" He said, "Which one?" He said, "I don't know. All these damn alligators look alike to me." Now they're going to Europe on the boat. They're out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. One of them called the other and said, man, look at all that water. He said, yeah, that's only the top. Now these two beboppers, they moved to San Francisco. They're walking down the street and an earthquake comes. One of them said, man, I dig this town. It moves. But I remember World War II, the day it broke out. 3 of us went down to enlist, me and the 2 MPs dragging me. I got in line with the rest of the drafted volunteers. And there we were on the draft board, 85 of us standing there with no clothes on. You remember Abraham Lincoln said all men are created equal? And I have written a song. The name of my song is, if you were the only girl in the world and I was the only boy, okay, but until then, get lost. Now I'm writing a book. It's how to increase your incomes. Now, you know everybody's interested in how to increase their incomes. And I'm dedicating my book to the Internal Revenue Department. And the name of my book is Up Your Bracket. That's about as close as I can get. And what gets me is that estimated tax return. You got to guess how much you're going to make. You got to fill it out, fix it up, sign it, send it in. I sent mine in last week. I didn't sign it. As long as I got to guess how much I'm going to make, let them guess who sent it. Don't laugh. They did. And everything happened to me. I bet on the Chicago White Sox. I bet on Floyd Patterson. Tonight I bought a suit with 2 pair of trousers. Damn if I didn't burn a hole in the coat. Everything happened to me. I made $10,000 last year on the side. No one knew I had it. So 2 months before Thanksgiving, damn if I'd invested all in cranberries. And I got a cold tonight. My roommate here, member of the Ku Klux Klan, he got a 3 o'clock cold this morning. He left and took all the sheets with him. I'm telling you, the way my luck's going, if they sawed a woman in half, I get the half that eats. And from what I heard, I'll be better off. And look what happened to show people. Look at that Eddie Fisher leaving that pretty little Debbie Reynolds to marry Elizabeth Taylor. To me, that's just like trying to flag down a super chief with a burnout match. But I like Florida. I came down here on a plane, these darn airlines. When I bought my ticket, I said very politely, I said, when's this plane getting to Miami? He said, you want the time or the odds? And this was a jet, and the pilot, when we taxied out of New York, he said, we're going to fly this jet today from New York City to Miami, Florida. In 2 hours and 14 minutes, we're going to be up 39,500 feet at a speed of over 600 miles an hour, and we ain't going to take off till I get up enough nerve. So I called the stewardess, and you know what a stewardess is. That girl asks you what you want and straps you in the seat so you can't get it. I said, which way are we going to Miami? She said, we're going to fly right over Cape Canaveral. I said, ain't that a little dangerous? She said, no, those damn rockets don't get up this high. Got to be careful what you say around the little one nowadays. Last week, my little guy Howard, 4 years old, his grandmother visited. He says, Grandmommy, make a noise like a frog. She said, why? I said, Daddy said we're going to get 50,000 when you croak. And this babysitting racket. Tonight, my boy, 15 years old, hell, he's got a 22-year-old babysitter. I didn't have that much fun on my honeymoon. And has this happened to you fathers yet? Happened to me last week. My wife said, well, you better have a talk with Frankie. He'll be 17 tomorrow. I said, you tell him, I've forgotten. She said, it's up to the father. So I took Frankie out to the side. I said, Frankie, boy, you're going to be 17 tomorrow. You and I got to sit down and have a little heart-to-heart talk. He said, okay, Dad, what do you want to know? Don't laugh, he told me. I said, where'd you learn all this? He said, remember when I was 5 years old, you and Mama used to spell those words? I looked them up. Certainly was a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to appear on this wonderful show here tonight. Such wonderful cause. Everybody loves this outfit. They're so well known around here. And I like to admit that's the fire department of the Hollywood Beach. And they do a wonderful job. I won't say they're a little slow on answering fires here. But 2 weeks ago, my uncle, his apartment house caught on fire. He turned in the alarm. The thing burned down. He got the insurance, built the apartment back up, and the Hollywood Fire Department showed up and gave him a ticket for turning in a false alarm. Nah, we was only kidding, you know. They're a wonderful job. I understand one of them holds a world championship here. He won 13 poker games in a row. One of these boys. And I want to thank Lee Castle and the Lawrence Welks Rejects back here for playing all those great tunes, The Little White Cloud That Cried, you know, all those great tunes we've heard. And I want to take a picture of the band as soon as we get off. If you don't mind, Lee, I'd like to take a picture because I want to see them all together just once. And this band. And ladies and gentlemen, this will conclude my part of the show. But by the way, the American Automobile Association asked me to announce tonight that with this bad weather down here, they expect 33 people to be killed this weekend. So far, there's only been 6, and you're certainly not cooperating. So when you leave here tonight, step on it.